Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to a special celebration here in the city. Usually when you have a road project, you do a ribbon cutting. But this is such a special project that we needed a better event to celebrate it. My name is Carl Bloom. I'm the mayor of Temple City with my colleagues, Mayor Pro Tem Tom Chavez, Vincent Yu, Cynthia Sternquist, and Fernando Vizcarra. We welcome you all here this morning. We've got a lot of things going on today, so let me give you an overview of what this morning is going to be like. We're going to do some presentations here on the stage. We're then going to do an unveiling of one of the murals. We're going to do a ribbon cutting. We're going to do an inaugural bike ride. We have two sculptures. One's down the end of this block, and one's at the end of that block. So that's going to be sort of the ceremonial part of it. After that, the community is welcome to tour the various vendors and organizations that are here. There'll be an organized bike ride, so you can enjoy the new bike routes we have here. You can talk to some of the artists that we have had do work for us. So there's going to be some live entertainment. I believe there's a public art walking tour, a scavenger hunt, raffle later on in the morning. So this is a fun thing we've got going here. So let me begin. I'll introduce some of the other people as we go along here. But I'd just like to give you an overview of this project. This road, Rosemead Boulevard, started out as a state highway before the freeways were built. And it was basically going through agricultural land. Obviously, the cities have built around it, and in the year 2008, the city obtained jurisdiction from Caltrans for this project. When the city celebrated its 50th anniversary in 2010, time was ripe to open discussion on the trajectory of the community, where we would be going for the next 50 years. Rosemead Boulevard became a pivotal project. It not only represented an update of physical infrastructure, but it was an opportunity to reflect Temple City's new, modern, proactive, forward-thinking attitude. In 2010, we brought some basic ideas of what to do with this road to a couple of community meetings. We got feedback. We went back to the drawing board and made some adjustments. We started with $387,000, and over the few years we worked at it, we leveraged that up to $20.7 million for this project. And the project team that was working on this knew that every time something came up, the first question was, how do we leverage our dollars? So we did very well on that. Over 90% of the funding came from non-city general fund sources. We thank the federal government, the state government, the regional MTA, and some other special sources. We started out as a safety improvement and beautification project. One of our first meetings with our consultant, and Steve Smith is here somewhere. Steve, raise your hand. He says, you know, we could probably make this a grand boulevard. And then we said, you know, the thing that's coming in the future is smart streets, and a complete street. Complete street says that cars, bikes, pedestrians, and transit all have equal access to the street, so nobody's got priority over anybody else. So those were two basic concepts that we had in mind. Councilmember Yu here said this baby's got to be transformative and it's got to be award-winning, and that's how we started the process. Some of the issues that we addressed was air quality. We figured if there's fewer trips, there's less emission from cars. So therefore, the people that live in the area here, instead of hopping in your car, driving 2 blocks here, we now have sidewalks, we have bike lanes. You can get here without hopping in your car and doing that. One of the ways to clean up air is to have trees. I believe Rosemead Boulevard had 4 or 5 trees on it. We now have 450 trees on the street to help clean it up. That's also important from a heat standpoint, from global warming, although, you know, Temple City is not going to solve the global warming issue. But when you have shade trees, it keeps the street cool, and therefore we don't have this heat sink in the middle of the summer where the street stays warm until late at night. So it provides a cooling for the areas here. We were concerned with the high speed of cars zipping up and down the boulevard here, so we looked at traffic calming issues. Noise pollution along, if you lived along here, so there's landscaping to deaden that, and we used rubberized asphalt, which is a quieter surface, and therefore you have less noise. Obviously, we live in an area with lack of rain, so we focused on drought-tolerant planting. We looked at energy efficiency. Our pedestrian lighting has LED lighting, and many of the new bus shelters have solar lighting and batteries, so we take care of the solar rather than using electricity. I mentioned we used recycled material for the pavement that was put down here. We've used about 16,000 used tires that got ground up and got incorporated into the asphalt that was put here. One of the special features we had and we focused on was public art. And we started our original discussions. I think we'd stamped a couple things in the concrete, and you know, maybe we could do a little bit to start it. We've come a long ways. We have city monuments, we have banners, we have sidewalk pavers, we have sculptures, we have tile murals, and it just really reflects where we're going as a city. I want to talk about a couple of the role players that we had. The County Public Works, City of Alhambra, and City of South Pass. When we started our project, all three of those entities had just finished working on major streets like this. So we went to them and said, okay, what are the lessons you learned? What went well? What didn't go well? What advice do you have for us? So our design team took that information and started working on the project that we have. We think the county up the north end up at Kalita Street, we modified that intersection. It was really a pretty hazardous spot for pedestrians trying to go to the preschool and things up there. In cooperation with them, that all got put together, and I think it's much nicer, it's much safer up there. Let me talk about the teams, and I say that plurally. The City Council, to start with, their foresight, their focus, and their courage to take a risk on a big dream. I mean, when you have a general fund budget of about $11 million and you take on a $20 million project, that's risk-taking, and that takes guts to do it. So I thank them for hanging in there. I thank our city staff, our city manager, former city manager, Jose Polito, was a key player through much of this process. We then moved, once we started moving on the project, we hired a consultant, Vanner Corporation, to become our design managers. And I saw Shah Jahari and Christy Twilley, if they're here, wave their hands. Okay. Okay, we then hired Gruen and Associates to be our designers. Steve Smith, who has since retired. Steve, wave your hand. Jill Wagner and Jennifer Salazar, and a whole host of sub-consultants that worked with them. Avant-Garde, we hired them to basically do the funding for us and help us to find out how to get that. And I don't know if Lizette's here. If you are, there you go. Thank you, Lizette. We then start focusing on public art. We originally had an advisory committee of Kathy Keelan, Robert Hepler, and Joanne Russell that start thinking about what we could do to do this. That morphed into a public arts commission. Hillary Larson, if you're here, raise your hand or stand up. Hillary Larson, David Ho, Robert Hepler, Kathy Keelan, Angie Kim, Marianne Ratchford, and Zing Zhao. If you're here, thank you very much for being part of it. We had a public art consultant, Leslie Elwood, that helped us. Then Then that process brought us to three artists. And this is really one of the neat parts of our project here. Daniel Stearns did our 2 sculptures, and we'll unveil them. One's at the end and one's at the beginning. And he basically took the concept of our history of the red car, and if you don't know this, the red car a long time ago came up Las Tunas Drive and it ended at Temple City Hall. And so he took that concept and he built the legacy of the red car, and he symbolizes the community's movement into a brighter future. So we can talk more about those, and there's a table over here with public art. You can really find out what that was all about. Robin Brailsford, working with Paul Spitzery. I hammered your name, Paul, but Paul's with the Homestead Museum. They work together. We have 24 pavers in the sidewalk depicting the history and the legacy of Temple City. Carol Owegian is working on she's right here. She's working on some tile murals that depict the modern day Temple City. She's holding off a little bit. She's still working on them, so you'll see them probably later this year when they'll end up on the wayfinding signs that are perpendicular up and down the boulevard. Okay, we then moved to our construction phase, and we hired Transtech as our construction engineers, or our construction managers. Ali Kair, who's been working very, very hard. Eunice Rahi and Mike Schneff. I'm not sure where you're at, but they've been working, this last week they've been working very, very hard. Then we go to LA Engineering. They're the contractors. Jeff Bird, Superintendent Jack McNary, and Todd Peterson, and all those who worked on the project. I think they did a good job. They stayed focused. They worked very hard. And I think we ended up with a very good project. I want to thank the businesses and the residents along Temple City, or along Rosemead Boulevard. Thank you for your patience. You had to endure a lot of construction, a lot of disruption and sacrifice. So I thank you for that. Hopefully, as with any construction project, at the end of the day, you say, all right, I'm glad we did it. Okay, our project was delivered ahead of schedule and on budget. When we had our weekly meetings on this, the team knew that one of the first questions I was going to ask was, are we on budget and are we still on schedule? And we did. They worked very hard to make that happen. What's next? The project still needs some fine tuning, so we'll be doing that. I mean, when you build something like this, you don't hit it perfect when you start, so we'll be tweaking some stuff. Some of the landscaping still has to mature. Some of the plants have to get through a full cycle. You won't really see, I think, the beauty of the street until the trees get matured a little more, so that'll be a couple of years. And we need to get used to using it. You know, we drive down the street and there's trash bins sitting in the bike lanes. There's cars parked in the bike lanes. There's this in the bike lane. And everybody needs to understand the bike lane is just as equal as the driving lanes, is just as important as the sidewalks. So we all need to learn how to make that happen, and we will. I want to give some special thanks to the team that put this event together. Our city staff, Wendy Chung, Chelsea Pitcher, and Melissa DeMercy from Transtech. They're around here someplace. Thank you very much. When we talked about doing a celebration, we said, you know, we're close to our budget, we can't do it, so how are we going to put this celebration on? So they put a team together and they went out and they got the donations from our contractors and our consultants and everybody, so that's who is funding this celebration here. I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for their help. There's a newspaper out here, be sure to pick it up. It covers some of the activities here, and on the back they've got a list of all the restaurants up and down Temple City Boulevard. I would encourage you to come back and start visiting these restaurants. They suffered pretty severely, during the construction time. I want to thank the Temple City and Stan's Bike Shops for the effort they're working on here and setting up some of the biking events, and the various bike organizations, and I believe they have their booths down here. We have a number of volunteers that are in the green shirts. I thank them for being out here. So with that, give them all a big round of applause. Okay, with that, I'd like to introduce some of the dignitaries we have here. First of all, I'd like to invite Congresswoman Judy Chu from the 27th Congressional District.
Well, what an incredible grand opening of Rosemead Boulevard. I tell you, as somebody who's driven up and down this street for the past 30 years, I can't believe what a transformation has taken place here with these beautiful trees and the public art and the bike lane and the improvements to the street itself. It is absolutely stunning. You know, yeah, and let's give a big hand to it. You know, when I joined the groundbreaking for this event early in 2013, I spoke about how impressive it was to see Temple City grow the budget for this project from less than $400,000 to nearly $21 million. That's not easy to do, no matter what the project is. But now I have a whole new reason to praise and celebrate the work that's been done, because it was finished 4 months ahead of time. And I'm so impressed by how engaged this city council was in this project, as well as the entire community. No wonder there was such a great result. But I really have to praise two city council members, because you were very, very lucky to have two council members with incredible expertise as engineers and architects who actually knew the details of such a project and spent every week reviewing this project, and that is Carl Bloom and Vincent Yu. So impressive that they took such a personal interest to make sure this was the perfect project. And I have to say, the people of Temple City have been so very patient with this project. Having all this construction for such a lengthy period of time certainly was a challenge, but now the rewards will come. And now the quiet community of Temple City is no longer quiet. Now you have a city renaissance with 2 miles of continuous sidewalk, these innovative bike lanes that are actually protected from street traffic, new bus shelters and displays of the public art with these 500 trees that now line the street where there was only concrete and dirt before. And everything has been done with this eye towards the environment. The new lighting that we see above us is energy efficient. The new asphalt beneath us is made using old tires that have been recycled and repurposed. Now that is creativity at its best. And so I want to congratulate Temple City on this beautiful result. I look forward to many, many years of enjoying this wonderful new street. So let me present the certificate of congressional recognition to the city of Temple City on your incredible Rosemead Boulevard grand opening. Congratulations.
Thank you, Congresswoman Judy Chu. Next, I'd like to invite up State Senator Ed Hernandez from the 24th State Senate District.
Good morning, and thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to spend here with you for the Rosemead Boulevard Grand Opening Festival. It is truly a pleasure, but more importantly to the citizens here of Temple City, you guys have an incredible project here, and I think you owe all of your thanks to your leaders in this city and the leaders who are your city council members and what they have done to bring forward this project. And this project has everything from modernized infrastructure to sidewalks to the public art to the roads that you see here to the lighting. I mean, it's just working together, but more importantly, how they as a city council work together in collaboration with the federal government, with the state. They reached out to all the local communities, kind of find out what it is that it took to get to this project. So you can see that they work in collaboration as one to bring this resource to you. So it's an honor to be here. And with that, I have this Senate of California Certificate of Recognition that I'd like to give to the city of Temple City. And it's to the Rosemead Boulevard Enhancement Project, and it says, celebrating the grand opening of the streetscape redesign of this main commercial corridor, we applaud your vision and leadership in transforming this thoroughfare into a more walkable and more bicycle-friendly destination. Congratulations, it's dated May 10, 2014, signed by myself, State Senator Ed Hernandez, and I'd like to commend them, congratulate them, and give them a round of applause. Thank you very much.
Okay, now I'd like to invite up Assemblyman Ed Chow from the 49th Assembly District.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, for that introduction. Earlier when I was coming down here, I drove down Rosemead Boulevard. Boy, let me tell you, it's a great feeling. You know, it was a little more than a year ago when we gathered here in March of 2013 for the groundbreaking ceremony for this project. Today's dedication truly represents what can be achieved when all levels of government work together collaboratively, like Senator Ed said. And in fact, I'm very excited today for the dedication for this project because it's not simply a repaving project, but it will also create innovative alternatives such as the San Gabriel Valley's first ever cycle track, which is a 2-mile protected bike lane. As the mayor said earlier, it has added a lot of trees and plants. In fact, there is about 500 new trees and 6,000 new plants. The repaved roads will be rubberized asphalt concrete coming from tires from landfills. And as we know, Rosemead Boulevard is a major north-south thoroughfare, and the enhancements that have been completed will improve the aesthetics and access to this roadway and will in fact be a catalyst to economic and growth and create jobs and new businesses. In this era of economic recovery and awareness for sustainable development, we have to be smart in how we address infrastructure, and today's dedication represents just that. And that is also why it is so important that we're here today to set an example for all of California on how we can be innovative in improving transportation in our region. I want to thank the leadership also at Temple City for their vision on what a green and sustainable Rosemead Boulevard can look like. I also want to thank Metro, Caltrans, Cal Recycle, and also the federal government in helping to make this funding, technical, and also the administrative support available for the project. I also want to present certificates to the City Council for their hard work, and I look forward to working with all of them. Thank you very much for having me.
Are we walking down there or what, biking down?
Okay, thank you, Ed. And I'd like to invite up Brian Mejia, representing Supervisor Mike Antonovich.
Thank you, Mayor Bloom, and good morning. It's a pleasure to be here representing Supervisor Antonovich. He sends his appreciation and his welcome to all the citizens of Temple City and to the people behind the scenes in making this great transformation, revitalization of Rosemead Boulevard possible. And this is a great day for Temple City. You have an eco-friendly project that has been introduced to the community, and this will definitely be a great revitalization for the businesses that had to endure the construction during the past year. And appreciation to all for your support, and the supervisor is grateful that this project is here, and it's a model for the valley. As you can see, going up north on Rosemead Boulevard, the county did their revitalization project, whoops, without a bang, not too long ago. So you've seen a great transformation of Rosemead Boulevard beyond borders. And then here in Temple City, this is a great day for all bicyclists, pedestrians, and motorists. That they'll see that this is a new welcome to the community. So I have a proclamation I'd like to present on Supervisor Antonovich's behalf, and I'll present it to Mayor Bloom and the council for their dedication and service to the community. On his behalf, congratulations, and this is a great day for Temple City.
Okay, thank you, Brian. I believe we have representatives from Caltrans here. He said he's here on stage. He says, and we want to thank Caltrans. I mean, a lot of work, a lot of coordination. And is there anybody here from Metro?
Good morning. On behalf of Art Leahy, who's the CEO of Metro, and our board chair, Diane DuBois, I'm John Fasana, who represents the cities in the San Gabriel Valley, and I'm here to congratulate the city of Temple City on this excellent transformation of Rosemead Boulevard, a boulevard that frankly kind of was evolving into an eyesore up until 5 or 10 years ago, and now when you look at the transformation that's taken place, this is absolutely incredible. There's a lot of talk right now, the movement toward first mile, last mile strategies of making transit more friendly and accessible. The idea being that when you have a bus stop or a rail stop, what can you do to get people that next quarter mile or half mile or mile to their destination really is important. Improvements like what you're seeing today on Rosemead Boulevard are the future. They're going to make the environment much better. They're going to reduce traffic congestion. So we are extremely excited. And in terms of cycling, you basically have put, in the Temple City here, you've put the San Gabriel Valley on the map. You are forefront in Los Angeles County and in this region for an exploding bike movement that has really seen incredible progress. You're seeing safe opportunities to cycle in the community. I know for those of us that have cycled in the past on very busy streets, we're trying to do the healthy thing, we're trying to do the environmentally friendly thing, but we also want to be safe. So what you've done here is really setting the standard in San Gabriel Valley and throughout this county. I congratulate you for it. Metro was pleased to be a partner of over $2 million through the 2011 call for projects. It was a competitive process. Temple City competed, and they delivered a fabulous project here for Los Angeles County. I know Metro has a booth here, as do many of the bike
advocates and bike shops, so please support the local merchants and booths that are here today. Visit the Metro booth. Congratulations, and have a great time when you start spinning the pedals. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, John. We appreciate Metro because we did have to go in there and compete for the money, and we appreciate the support. And, we see the direction that they're trying to take the county, and we do appreciate that, and glad we're cooperating with them. Okay, with that, we have up here on stage also a number of city council people, and hopefully they're here to be embarrassed into improving their streets. And, as you know, some of them have already done stuff. As I mentioned before, we've gone to some of these cities and talked to them ahead of time. So I have a list here. Let me just mention, I believe we have somebody from the city of, raise your hand when, if I call you City of South Pasadena, and I know some of them are in the crowd here. City of... Over here! Mayor, what's out here? All right. All right, they biked all the way from, if they can bike from South Pass, anybody in town can bike. Okay, talk about a long bike commute from the city of Claremont. City of South El Monte. Yeah, we have the city of, let's see, I said South El Monte, El Monte. We have city of San Gabriel. We have a number of representatives. Okay, the city of Alhambra. City of Rosemead. City of Monterey Park. How's that for working together with the San Gabriel Valley? That's really, really neat. And hopefully not too far down the road here, the bicycle master plan for the San Gabriel Valley, which all of us cities have to implement, is coming together piece by piece. So I'd say 5 or 10 years from now, this is going to be a very exciting place to be. Okay, with that, we want to get on with our ceremony here. We're going to do a little unveiling here. We have pavers in the sidewalks. There's one right up here that depicts basically the history of our area and the Temple family. And they're not all in place yet, but there's going to be 24 of these pavers in the sidewalk, and there'll be an inscription sort of describing what they stand for. They're not in order, and they're scattered between the beginning and the end, so you don't have to be walking in any one place to enjoy them. So you can walk either part, any part, the whole thing, and we'd encourage you at some point to walk the whole thing because it's very, very impressive. So we have one of the pavers, a display of it right here. You could bring it over here, and if my fellow council members could just unveil this for us, put her over here if you could. Okay, and if we could have the artist up here, Robin Brailsford. She didn't make it? Okay. Ready? Okay, while they're snapping the pictures, I do want to recognize a chief from the Kisha Nation is here. When we speak of legacy in the San Gabriel Valley, there's where it started. Okay, what's going to happen next, we're going to go over, there's a ribbon over here, we're going to do a ribbon cutting. We're then going to drift down here, hop on some bikes for a ceremonial bike ride. We're going down to the end of the street. We're unveiling one of these sculptures. We're going to ride up the other side of the street. We're going to unveil the second sculpture, and then the celebration begins, the entertainment, and we want you to go on a bike ride, go on a walk, talk to the people that are involved. So thank you very much. It is ceremonial.
I got the camera on. Hey, got the camera. Say hi.
Tom, we're starting down here or up there?
We're driving that way.
Should I go get my bike and join you or not?
I think it's just for the officials.
I had a $40 check for you guys. I don't know how long. Somebody's got to come by and pick
Hey,
it up.
and then he wants you to hold it for another 2 weeks after that, too.
Where should I come by to pick it up? Yeah, I know.
All right, let's see it, Hey, thank you. Will you, next week, are you going down to Indian Wells?
Yes.
All right, we'll see you there.
Ready? Yeah. All right, so yours is right over.
Where are we going?
So we're gonna go southbound to Broadway to unveil the first statue.
Okay.
So we're gonna wait here for a second.
Oh, all right.
So while we round everybody up. You're gonna capture this on tape.
I am. I'm capturing it on tape.
That's good.
For forever. I don't know where they're at. See you, Dave.
Well, we've got the GoPro too.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Film history here.
Cindy! Here she's coming. Hey, you might want to fasten that helmet too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Little camera up there.
All right.
Is it recording?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did I give you my glove? Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna have everybody pull up this way. Hey there.
Where's Carl? Here he comes.
Almost. All right. So we're gonna just quickly pose for a couple photographs. Right here, actually.
Ready?
Who are we missing? Where's Vince?
Carl. Where's Vince?
Well, good morning,
He's
everyone,
coming.
and welcome to the Rosemead Boulevard Grand Opening Festival. We're going to be celebrating our complete street for walkers, bikers, and drivers. They're going to be enjoying
Vince,
live
come on up.
entertainment from the Dance Studio, Temple City High School, San Gabriel Valley Chinese American Association, Valley Folklore, and a lot more. You have a lot going on today. You're going to be able to participate in activities and get a lot of raffle tickets for different prizes, including bicycles. And speaking of bicycles, want to introduce to you Mr. Ron McKiernan from the Temple City Bike Shop. It's located over on Las Tunas Drive, just east of Temple City Boulevard. Will give us some bike safety 101 in preparation for today's community bike ride.
Cynthia, how are you, sweetie?
Thank you. How you doing, folks? Basically,
Michael, good to see you, man. Hi, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for coming. My son works at the City of Monterey Park. He works in the Human Resources Department.
Helmets are necessary.
And you know, I grew up in Monterey Park. That's where I'm from.
The kids under the age of 18 must wear helmets. Some of the practices of riding, you must ride with the traffic.
Over to Broadway to unveil the first statue. We'll pause there, take a picture.
And the same rules apply that you have to ride with a car applies to the bicycle. So stop sign.
One at a time, so no
You
accident.
must stop and make sure it's safe to go through. Of course, riding at night and stuff, you're going to want to have, I brought my own bike here right now. This is the same type bike they use in the Tour de France. You do want to have to ride at night. You want to run front and rear headlights.
Are you sure you can make it?
I don't know, it's a long way.
What happened? Joel's fall?
You almost fell.
Right now you have to do a wheelie all the way down.
If I can have your attention. Okay, I don't have a microphone here, so if you want to hear, you're going to have to come in a little closer here. Hey, Dave Smith, right here. Dave's the owner of the hat, so we got you.
Where's the free samples?
Yeah, we thought he was the model for the sculpture, but he really wasn't. So. Okay, let me just explain a little. This was by Daniel Stearns, the sculptor, and I think he's an actor, as you know, and I think he's
Home Alone.
Home Alone. He was the big tall but bad guy, and he's the guy that did this for us. I think he's on a movie shoot right now. That's why he couldn't be here. Anyhow, this one here is called The Temple City Woman. It's originally titled The Helping Hand Reaching Out and referred to as Miss Temple City. The figure represents Temple City's core value of neighbor helping neighbor. She reaches out to assist others onto the moving train towards Temple City's future. In this way, the figure represents all the volunteers, the citizens, the business owners, the organizations and public servants who seek ways to give back to the community. So with that, let's unveil.
You know where to wait for Jerry?
Jerry's right here.
I'm right here. How do we take it off, bro?
How do you take it off? There you go.
Maybe pull down.
I got it. Go on this side.
Hung up over there.
Hung up on the back. Yeah, we don't have that flowing cloth like they have in the car commercials, you know, where the don't fall, Cindy.
It's computer animated.
Stand on this? Yeah.
There you're stuck on top of it.
Oh, you broke the set? Very Carl, you should be doing it.
Almost, man. A little stick or something.
Quite a hairdo there.
Very detailed.
Yeah, I know.
Sculpture. I wish Daniel was here to explain
There you go, Cynthia. Details you've been working on for quite a while.
Vincent, move your head.
Yeah, why don't the council? All right, let's get all the council members down here.
Hey,
Guys on the bike, can you move back a little bit?
We have a good group.
Yeah, it's a good field group.
Back up the
You ready?
Ready now?
I like that thing he's got for his cell phone, Jane. I got to get one of those.
I just wanted this.
Yeah, but that's good because you can see it.
Texting and writing.
Yeah, there you go. GPS, all that kind of good stuff.
Let's go north. All right, you ready?
Yep, let's go.
All
Go ahead, lead the way.
Roll it out. Oh, man.
Where's Carl? That's all right. We're all together.
Mirror for Tillman right there.
We're right here.
So you're filming it?
Yeah. I hope it is. I hope it's on. This is not the protected part, though, unfortunately.
That's all right.
You know what? I think I'll turn and I'll get other people coming this way. Hold on. Go ahead. Keep going. Oh, excuse me. I'm filming it. So you look like a pretty serious bike rider to me.
Yeah.
You do a lot of bike rides?
Yes.
A lot of, like, you know, we used to have a guy in our city who he would do those ultra marathon ones, like 200-mile bike rides or something like that. He did one through Death Valley a while back.
Oh yeah, they had those. I did a century ride like a little while ago.
Yeah, that's a long way.
Yeah, you make it though.
My son is training right now for Ironman triathlon, so.
Oh, he's doing an Ironman?
Yeah, he's doing Ironman in Lake Tahoe. So that's 100 mile an hour. Huh? You don't have to qualify for that one.
Oh, you have to qualify.
Yeah, you just have to pay your money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know a lot of them like you.
Yeah, you have to qualify. Like the one in Hawaii, you have to qualify for.
Yeah, the one in Hawaii.
Yeah.
There's one in Australia.
Yeah, this one I don't think you had to. Hey, is that legal to be on the street? See you, Mila. See you guys. Thanks for coming.
We're going to go to the unveiling, huh?
Oh, that's right. We got it. What am I saying? We're going to unveiling.
And we're gonna.
You don't want us to go?
I thought it was almost done. Here, I thought it was done.
Yeah, we can leave our bikes here. We'll just walk.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna leave them right here.
Thank you.
You got it.
We got to park a bike at that and do that stuff over there.
Right. There was some issues.
George, over here. I hear you. Where are you?
He's right here, George.
No.
This was closer. You know, they're closing down, you know.
Yeah. George's going to be a rat.
Yeah, he likes this place.
Yeah, he does.
I have my camera on. I have to walk backwards so I can see everybody.
Yesterday, they were taking the picture. I was thinking about photobombing.
There you go.
No, this is the other house.
This time, you have to pull it down from this side. This side.
You all ready, Wendy?
Are you ready, Mr. Temple City?
We're ready.
His optimistic body language suggests that the risk of jumping on a moving train is more than worth it, especially if it means he can follow Temple City into a brighter future. Yeah.
Man, that's a long one.
How you doing, my friend?
Thank you so
Good
much.
to see you. Thank
Beautiful
you.
job.
Thank you for everything.
Awesome.
So are you guys done now?
Yeah, pretty much
The
done.
ceremony part?
Yeah, I told you to be over by 10. You got a lot of time. Ooh, look at those ices. Look pretty darn good. I might have to get one of those. It's a shaved ice. No, no, it's not. It's a regular ice. Hey, look at the line.
And they had on sale on that REI. I stopped because I had a flat.
the San Gabriel Valley Chinese American Association.
Say I had a tremendous job. I had a really great time, and this was just meant to be because I think everyone here enjoyed themselves, and especially me. So thank you, and I hope it happens more often.